What's going on, y'all? It's your boy, Swole, TCG. We're out here with that fire, that heat, that sauce. Once again, boys, listen now. I am bringing to you pure Azamina. Pure Azamina. Technically, it's Azamina Diabell SE, but in reality, it is pure Azamina. You're playing it as pure Azamina with the Diabell package included. It's all one archetype. It's all combined together. So, pure Azamina. There's multiple ways to run pure Azamina. I am still experimenting. This is a very experimental build. So far, it has been very consistent. It is very fun. It is very interactive. It's very hard to beat. As far as it is a control deck, all right. So it is just very similar to Fiendsmith control. You're just forcing out all your opponent's options. It's very good into going second because you'll see as we get into it, but it is a phenomenal deck. It is a lot of fun. A lot of fun. If you like the Diabell package, if you like the Azamina package, pure Azamina might be your jam because this deck is pretty crazy. Naturally, this is another original build by yours truly. I made this shit up. Can't make this up. Yo, this is where my mind goes. It just goes crazy. I just start thinking tech options, thinking ideas, and I'm like, whoa, this would be fire if you do this with this and this. But I appreciate all you guys that also like to chime in, give me your thoughts, give me your ideas. This is how we grow together as a community, guys. This is how we keep growing together. You know, you guys are giving your feedback. You guys are putting your questions or your comments or your ideas into the comment section of these videos. You're fueling other people that are reading those comments. They're responding. That's how we keep growing this community and keep building these crazy creative tech options, guys. So I love that. Please keep it up. And if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe. Let's keep growing this community together, guys. Let's keep building it up and building a great community. Now, before we get into this video, did y'all get your steps in? Yo, listen, boys, yo, if you're watching this video, go outside, go for a walk, get that fresh air in. Go hit that fresh air, guys. Go ahead, get out there, you know, stay active and be active because we're not just bettering ourselves mentally, boys, we're bettering ourselves physically. So get out there and stay active. And if you're my slowly, so once you finish that workout, hop on that treadmill, hop on that Stairmaster, put on this video, watch the video. Once you finish the video, you're done with your cardio. It's that easy. It's too easy, boys. It's too easy. So stay active, be active, live healthy. We don't want to just better ourselves mentally, we want to better ourselves physically, boys. So get out there and get active. Now let's go ahead and jump on into the super saucy pure Azamina deck profile. All right, guys, so we're going to start off with the engine, then go non-engine, extra deck, and then side deck. So this is going to be a little bit different than some of the normal stuff that we've been seeing, obviously. So first up, we're going to go over a little bit of the Diabell package. We're playing 2 copies of Cursed Diabell, 1 copy of Philia. This is going to get you into your Diabell of the White Forest, and that's going to get you into essentially the import that you want to have. But there's multiple ways to get to that. So this is just one avenue to get to it. So we're playing these copies right here. I'm gonna try to scoot it up because these are a little bit unfamiliar cards for people, so I'm gonna make sure we get it all in. I'm playing 1 copy of Deception. Technically we could play more copies. I am thinking about 2. Like I said, this is just a test build right now. The main reason I didn't try it with 2 at first is because I have my 2 QCRs inside my K9 Azamina build right now, and I only had 1 regular copy left over because I sold my others. But testing so far, 1 Deception's been fine, honestly, and you'll see why as we continue through this build. Next up, our goats. 3 copies of Wanted. 1 is Wanted. Obviously, as we know, it's the full combo right there. 2 copies of Hallowed. My other 2 secrets are inside the K9 Azamina build right now. I was hoping to do this build while I was doing the pure build so I could have the max rarity Azamina stuff for you, but right now it's on the side. So, but 2 copies of Hallowed. This is almost a 3 of inside this variant just because we're playing so many simple spoils cards and you get there so many different ways. Like I said, this is a test run. I want you guys to feel the ratios out and let me know what you guys feel about it. Next up, we are playing 2 of the goats, 2 Slumber. This is a Sinful Spoils Azamina deck. This is a pure variant. Slumber is a GOAT card. Not only Book of Moon for special summon monsters, it also resets itself, so you get additional value if you're sending this off for Witch of the White Forest, or if you're sending it off of Hallowed, and you can always set it because your White Witch is an illusion. So this can reset with just not even having Azamina on board. You could just have Diabellstar on board and you can reset it. So pretty crazy. This card is just absolutely phenomenal. Definitely want to, I was so tempted to even just put it at 3, but we don't want to have that many bricks. That's also another reason for Hallowed to be at 3, just because we can just send this in its full combo. So that is essentially it for the Simple Spoils part of the engine, and also obviously the small Diabell package onto the monsters now. We are on 3 copies of Diabellstar, the White Witch. This card's goated. This helps you function with the Diabell control portion of the deck. Absolutely mandatory. We need to play these at 3. I'm also experimenting with a variant where I side in Dominus Impulse going second, and just replace these guys out. So that is also an option, but just show the ratios of the Diabell package here. We are on 1 Vengeance. This is almost a 2 of. In my opinion, this might be a 2 of. Probably should be a 2 of, just because it's our main line. We don't want it to get outed with a Bestial or DD Crow. So we definitely want to have a second one just in case that happens, because this has happened to me before where they remove that. But you do, with the Azamina part of the deck, you still have plenty of follow-up. You still have plenty of push to just go back into it. The Diabell portion is just its own other monster for your opponent to deal with. We are on 3 copies of Black Witch. I busted out the alties for you guys on this build, just because I miss playing with the alties, but max rarity is max rarity. So, but 3 Black Witch, pretty standard, pretty necessary. And now we're going to get into a little bit more of the spice here. So that was it for the Diabell monsters. Next up is where it gets saucy, and the reason why I wanted to do this deck profile again. We are on 3 copies of Poplar. Poplar is a GOAT in this deck. Guys, hear me out here. Not only when he is summoned, you get a search for a temple, and then temple is going to place a continuous spell. Keep in mind, continuous spell. When you sack him for a deception, or you remove him with one of our non-engine, or you send him with Wish, he will place himself as a continuous spell, and then you can literally send him to the grave to summon out your White Witch. The amount of value having, this is why I waited so long, is because now that Poplar is at 3, it makes the consistency of this deck so much more, because people are going to interact with this, and this just provides you so much value without negging from your engine and your non-engine with your Witch and your Diabellstar of the White Forest. You don't have to neg anymore and get rid of a non-engine card, or get rid of a piece of your engine you didn't want to get rid of. This gets rid of that issue that you have. So 3 copies of Poplar. Poplar is the absolute GOAT in this variant. And then next up, 1 copy of Big, what is that? Diabellstar. This is also considered a Diabell monster, so it works with Vengeance. That's why this is cracked. Alright, so this card just obviously has always been such a fabulous interrupt in the Snake Eye variant, but now it is also considered a continuous spell. Not only is it a continuous spell, but it's also going to go ahead and place another continuous spell. So now you have a Diabell on board, and then you have a continuous spell to send for the White Witch. It's just crazy. This card is phenomenal. It's your other Diabellstar. This is a secret Diabellstar sauce right there. And then next up, 1 copy of Bonfire, pretty standard. It's just 3 Poplar. It's your 4th copy of Poplar. And then for our targets with Poplar, 1 Temple, 2 Temple. Temple is phenomenal because not only is it going to be a field spell that we can send for our Witch or our White Witch, we're also going to be setting our Diabellstar down below. So with setting the Diabellstar down below, now we have 2 cards on the field with a value of 1, and we can just go ahead and send one of these away for our Black Witch or our White Witch, whatever we need, and it just provides you with extra value. Second Temple's never a brick, just because Temple with literally any of those other cards is awesome, and Temple's just Temple, so we can easily just have another layer of interruption for our opponents. So just a phenomenal card, and just having the additional targets for Popular is huge. Now the super sauce and where we bridge is with Dramatic Chase. So Dramatic Chase is such a phenomenal card because it's searchable with Popular, so if we already had a Temple in hand, we can search a Chase, and Hallowed plus Chase is full combo. Let me say that again, Hallowed plus Dramatic Snake Eye Chase is full combo. But TJ, why is it full combo? Swole TCG, why is it full combo? Guys, Dramatic Chase places a Diabellstar. Guys, it places a Diabellstar. What is it going to place? It's going to place Vengeance. And what does Vengeance say? This card is always, oh, let me get it in focus. This card is always treated as a simple spoils card. So Chase is a simple spoils card because of Vengeance. You don't need to play Subdual. Subdual's ass. It is slow. Having Chase, being able to activate Chase, and not only that, it's going to be able to push up whatever you had. Like if you had an additional, maybe you had a Popular or something, at the end phase you can just go ahead and banish it and then push up whatever else you didn't use already. But right here, Vengeance is now inside your spell and trap zone. It's still considered a simple spoils card. So then you can go ahead and activate Hallowed after using Chase and send this a new full combo. The full Azamina combo through Snake Eyes just because of Chase. So this is pretty cracked. This is where we need to start cooking, boys, because this is where it gets saucy right there, right? So these are your Snake Eyes targets right there. I kind of want to play more Snake Eye package, but I didn't want to overwhelm. I wanted to focus more on the whole Azamina aspect of it and do that. And this is also going to force my opponent interrupts where they're not going to catch me lacking with my Diabellstars and my Azamina portion of the engine. So that is that. For this, like I said, this is all fundamental stuff. We can still keep improving and keep building, but I'm showing you guys the sauce and the spice so you guys can also start brainstorming on this. Now for the non-engine, we are on 3 copies of Imperm. Imperm is Imperm. I don't know how many times I gotta say that, but I'm gonna keep saying that. Then we're on 3 copies of Droplet. Literally all of our stuff wants to get sent to grave. We need board breaks because we're not playing that much non-engine in here, so we want to have the additional board breaks in here. So 3 Droplet, absolutely huge. It pairs well with literally all of our other cards because literally we can send a Popular to the grave. We can summon a Popular effect. The opponent's trying to interact. We go ahead and activate Droplet. We can send, like, imagine you have Popular and then you have Curse of Diabell in hand. Now you're just Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2, Chain Link 3, and you're negating their board. Like, Droplet is phenomenal inside this build. All of our cards have in-graveyard effects and allows us to continue extending, and then we just negate. So we're never negging with a Droplet because we're just going to keep getting the value back. Next up, 3 copies of Fualos. Yes, this is Fualos. It is not Perulia. Guys, I don't have a second playset of Fualos, so these are proxies for Fualos, all right? So don't get it twisted. This is not Perulia. Perulia's ass right now. It should not be in anybody's deck, in the side or nowhere, all right? This is 3 copies of Fualos, all right? Like I always say, guys, I don't think I need to keep repeating it, but for the new viewers, I'm gonna just keep repeating it. Best defensive and offensive card in the game. You start a deck, 3 Ash. You start any build, 3 Ash. It's that simple. And then, like I always say, guys, you're dumb to not play one of these cards. And then for the super sauce, 3 super polys, because obviously we send something with our super poly discard, whether we send our Popular as the discard or we send the Curse of the Diabell as the discard on a new chain, we literally just start triggering our engine to go off. So being able to get our cards in the grave and also having a powerful interrupt on our opponent is just absolutely phenomenal. So we want to maximize that. So super polys and droplets, that's what really spices this deck up. Now I want to say this is a clean 40, but I might have carried this over to 42 just because I couldn't decide on cutting anything. I'll need to count that, but this is either 40 or 42. I always keep my deck builds at most, like, it's always around there. I always do even numbers. So 40 or 42. but I'll let you guys know as I keep refining this deck. This is not the last you'll see of this deck. There's going to be so much of this that I'm going to be experimenting and testing with, and just trying out options to keep refining and making this deck better. So stay tuned on that. But for right now, we're just going to say, I'm pretty sure this is 42, but 42 cards. Now for the extra deck, where we get a little slicey. One copy of Anima. This is obviously just to get our Poplar in grave, because White Witch needs a continuous spell or a spell or trap to send to grave. So if, say, for instance, the Imperm or Poplar for whatever reason, because they have PTSD of Snake Eyes, we just go into Anima and then we use Poplar Effect to place it down there, and now we can still full combo. It's a continuous spell, so it can be sent for White Witch and whatever, and we have the additional body. So Anima's pretty self-explanatory. 1 IP, 1 SP, 1 Gorgon. Gorgon's a phenomenal card. It can catch a lot of people lacking if they're not ready for it. That is it for the Link monsters. Next up, Super Poly targets. 1 Mud Dragon, 1 Garura, and 1 Earth Golem at Ignister. You guys are probably wondering, why aren't you playing Secretarian Dragon? I don't think that is as good as at Ignister. I want an answer for Malice. Malice is still out there, and some sly dog is going to be playing Malice, and you want to have an answer for Malice. Earth Golem at Ignister literally cooks Malice. The amount of times I summon this on a Malice player with the Super Volley and just destroyed them because they just extended all the way, and then I just Super Volleyed their board away. Like, need to have an answer for Malice. Malice is still out there, guys. That is it for the Super Poly targets. Well, the official Super Poly targets. Next up, the Azamina portion. We get to play a little bit heavier Azamina portion in this build, obviously, because it is a pure variant. So we get to play the GOAT, Risalago. So, I'm sorry, not Risalago, but Moragina. So we get to play her again. Saint Azamina. Unfortunately, I do not have a playset of QCR Saint Azaminas yet. I still need 2 more Saint Azaminas QCR, but we still were able to give you guys the max rarity on the other guys, so. But we're almost there. And then obviously our big boss monster, Azamina. That is it for our Azamina fusions right there, and obviously these could potentially be a Super Poly target that we could do, depending on who we're playing, right? So, next up for our Diabell package, since we are playing the Vengeance, all your lines are going to be ending on Vengeance pop, where you can summon out a Synchro tuner. So we want to play the Book of Moon. This card is very powerful. Need to get my QCRs. This artwork's just phenomenal, guys. I'm a huge wolf guy. You guys haven't noticed that. I mean, that's my whole fitness brand that I made is all about wolves, Wolves Training Co. Like, I love wolves. That's just such an amazing art. I need to get this in QCR. Next up, Poplar of the White Forest, phenomenal card, and the Vengeance Dragon. So the main reason we're doing Poplar and Vengeance Dragon is because in theory we could do 2 of this, and then we'd have an extra slot for like a Secretarian Dragon or something else that we want to put in. But I was talking with shout out Brandon again, but he was bringing up Poplar of the White Forest with the Vengeance Dragon, and thinking about it now, this combo is a lot better into a Yummy board, because you don't have, like, if you use Vengeance effect and you pop a card on field, this would be an automatic on summon trigger, which if you popped like the Snatchy and that was like their only card on the field, or you popped the field spell and that was or something, you know, it's not that good into Yummy depending on the situation. But this, however, would be good, because like you say you pop the Snatchy, now you still have another layer of interruption to go into Vengeance, and then Vengeance is just going to cook them. So it's just a phenomenal setup doing it this way with these cards. I think this is the correct build for it. I wouldn't change much inside the extra deck. If I did change anything or try to go into a Snake Eyes variant, obviously I'd throw in like a Promethean package, but I think this is a very solid build for what this deck is trying to do, which is control the game state. All right, next up for the extra deck. So we got a little bit of spice text for you. 3 copies of Spell Card Soul Exchange. We have literally 2 tribute monsters. All of our monsters are pretty much like level 7, level 8. So spell card Monster Reborn, take out 2 of my opponent's monsters, that's pretty cracked. So this is a pretty phenomenal board breaker, and it just gets you into your engine right away. So 3 copies of spell card Monster Reborn. Everybody loves Floodgates. Anti-spell definitely cooks the format. Skill drain. We're able to send all these cards, so it doesn't really affect us at all on the crack pack, and it's just very oppressive. So want to play them. 3 copies of Dragon's Mind. This is it for our going first cards right here. The reason Dragon's Mind, literally every Diabell monster is 2500 attack. White Witch is 2500 attack. Vengeance is 2500 attack. Black Witch is 2500 attack. So Dragon's Mind can literally reset itself. So you can send Dragon's Mind for White Witch and then reset Dragon's Mind, and now you literally have an Omni Negate. So Dragon's Mind is just really cracked into this deck. Droll. It's Droll. Not much to say, guys. Mitsu's out there, Ryzel's out there. Droll it up. And then, since we are obviously playing board breakers inside the engine, we want to add the additional value of board breakers. With this build, I'm trying out the 2 Lightning Storm and a Duster, just because I already have a monster target. Like, I already have non-engine board breakers that deal with monsters, so Lightning Storm's effect for monsters isn't really necessary. That's why it's not Raigekis like the K9 Azamina build, but I wanted something to answer back row a little bit more effectively. So, and you know, having the effect of wiping monsters is always cool, but I wanted additional back row removal, so that's why 2 Lightning Storm instead of 2 Raigeki, because obviously I have droplets and super polys and spell card soul exchange to deal with monsters. I wanted back row removal as well, so this is a more board breaker approach strategy. And then our last going first card, Called by the Grave. So, and that is it for the side deck, guys. Let me know what you guys think. This build is pretty crazy. I'm very excited to play with it. Very excited to do Swole Duel with this build. Let me know what you guys think. Combo guide coming soon. Alright, y'all, so I hope you guys enjoyed that deck profile. I have a lot of fun creating this. Obviously, this is one of my favorite archetypes, so it's a lot of fun creating ideas and coming up with ways to make it very meta relevant, very powerful, and a threat to deal with. So I'm very excited about this. I'm very excited to continue exploring options with this. There's a lot of creative ways we can do it. There's a lot to this archetype. There's a lot of cards that work very well with this archetype that we can incorporate into it. So I'm very excited to utilize all those options and keep trying to formulate this. This is our test run for the pure Azamina build. You guys go ahead and test it out yourselves. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if there's changes you guys might make. You know, this is how we continue to grow, guys. So give me your feedback. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know how you guys felt when you guys played it. You know, if you guys think of a cool tech option or you think of a better ratio, you know, put it in the comments, guys. We're gonna grow this community together, because you know what? F all those spreadsheets. We as a community are gonna get growing and growing together. All right, we're gonna build each other up. We're gonna help each other out, and we're gonna make a more diverse and creative meta. And that's what we're all about here at this channel. All right, so if you got friends that are creative, you got people at your locals that are creative, send them the link, have them join the community, have them comment for the community. You know, tell them, like, comment, subscribe, guys. Let's keep growing this community. And once we hit that 500 subscriber mark, we will be doing our first giveaway, which I'm very excited to finally be able to give more out to the community than just these videos and this information and these creative ideas. I want to be able to give you guys something to help you guys out. You know, if you're having a hard time getting maybe a deck core, or you know, maybe you have a favorite card that you want in like a Starlight or something, within reason, guys. All right, you know, I ain't money bags over here. You know, once I'm start making some money off of YouTube, you know, then we can get a little bit crazy with the giveaways, because I love giving to people. But if I got something inside my stores, you know, because I collect as well, so hopefully I can help you guys out too, and you know, give you guys some more joy to the game. But with that being said, guys, stay tuned for the next videos. We got Pure K9 on the way. We got combo guides on the way. Very excited to get into those with you.